Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Ching, and this tutorial is to show you how to graph using Google Sheets. So first you need to navigate to the class data spreadsheet that was either emailed to you or placed on the class website, right? So once you have it open, it's going to look like this. This is the same set of data that you entered the data in the previous class for the lab, from the lab. Okay, so you're going to navigate all the way to the bottom so that you can see all of these rows 170 to 177. So if you highlight these like that, hold down on your mouse and click and hold and drag, you're going to highlight these rows and you're going to copy this, so Command C, and then you want to add the sheet. Okay, when you go to a new sheet, what you want to do is go to Edit, Paste Special, Paste Value Only. So you can see that it's only going to place the values that we've got. Okay, so I know it's a little bit messy, so we're going to clean it up. So highlighting B and C, we're going to delete that row. And then notice that some of these numbers are all over the place, many digits. So we're going to remove it and go down to 1/10. Okay, so just round it to the 10th. So you should only have 2 to 3 digits there. Okay, the other thing you got to do is insert a row above for drops. Okay, so this is 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. Okay, so the other thing you got to do is remember that the ones on the left here are all for hydrochloric acid, and the ones on the right here are for NaOH. So I'm going to move them down below. I'm also going to do the same with the labels. Okay. Another thing you got to do is add with HCl, because you want to clarify how is row 2 different from 10, right? And then I can also just paste that in after I copied it, the label, to make it go a little faster. Okay, and then once you get to row 10, you want to change this to with NaOH. Okay, and again, we're going to highlight that and add all those in the labels. All right, so now that looks good. You're ready to graph once it looks like this. And make sure you have your teacher take a look before you start making a sheet for a graph for it. Okay, so now you're going to highlight this whole thing, just the rows that has something in it. Go to Insert, Chart, and then you'll see that the customize or the chart editor pops up on the right hand side. By default, it's going to do a standard stacking. So what you want to do, oops, sorry, I lost the edit. And then that's how you can get it back. You go here and then go to Edit Chart. Okay, so right here under Setup, or scroll down to scroll up to the top, go to Chart Type. You're going to go to Line. Okay, and this still doesn't look right, right? Because you see how they're on the bottom is a type of biological material, and then on the side is pH, which we want, but it doesn't look quite right. So you want to switch rows and columns down here. That looks better. Okay, I'm also going to move the graph down below to make it a little bit bigger so that it's easier to see. Okay, so now you need to customize your graph. Okay, so you're going to go to Customize tab, and then go to Chart Axis and Title. So under horizontal is fine as drops. You can add in number, as well if you want. And then under vertical axis, you want to put pH here. Make sure you're spelling pH correctly. It's small p, capital H. Then chart title. This is where you're going to need to come up with a descriptive title. So something like, well, you need to also add in the name of the lab, or the lab number, I mean. And the L in CL should be lowercase. That's not an I, it's an L. OH to be capitalized because it stands for oxygen, and then hydrogen. Okay. And buffers. Don't forget that you also need to put in your, whoops, you can also edit it here by double clicking on the title on the graph. Okay. So you have to also put in your first initial and last name. All right, now what do we need to do? Now the next thing is we need to update the colors of these because they just randomize put the colors as you put them in. But, oh, also one more thing. You need to change the minimum and maximum value. So for the horizontal axis, 0 and 30 should be what it is, but we just want to make sure. Oh, sorry. There you go. And then for the vertical axis, it should be 0 to 14 because that is the pH scale. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do is go back up to series, and now we're going to click on each of these lines. So for water, water is fine as blue. I'm going to keep the line option as solid. Point size, I want to change to 7, and it should be a circle. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same for water with NaOH. So that should be the same color blue. And then I'm going to change that to dashed line, as well as changing this to a square and 7 pixel. Okay, so the idea is that you need to change all of these colors to match the lines, to match what it's supposed to be. Okay, so for example, egg white, if I want to make it a dark yellow, and then circle, I'm going to do the same for this egg white, this yellow, dashed line, change it to square, 7 pixel. Okay, and then go back to liver. Liver, maybe I'll make it a gray color. Okay, so it doesn't matter what color you decide to choose, what color you decide to represent each of those variables, but or each of those reagents, but make sure that they are the same. Okay, so again, liver should be gray, and then I'm going to do the gelatin. Gelatin, I'll change it to purple, and then gelatin with HCl, purple with dashed line and a square. Okay, so you guys should get the idea. I'm just gonna quickly finish this up. Okay, so now see how all of the colors are the same. My water is blue, egg white is yellow, liver is gray, gelatin is purple, etc., right? And then the other thing I should note is all the ones that have NaOH in it are in squares. So I noticed that my liver is not a square. I need to change that. There you go. Okay, so everything that has NaOH down below here should be square. Okay, so why do we do all this? So that it's easier to read the graph. So now you can look at the graph and see, Oh, okay, my blue lines are, I can see that there is a difference adding HCl versus NaOH, right? HCl versus NaOH. And then I can quickly interpret what's happening. Okay, so now the last step is you can resize your graph as you need. So make sure that everything is legible, that nothing's cut off from the legend. Okay, once you're ready, you click on these three dots right here, and then you're going to download it as a PNG file. Okay, and then it'll ask you to save it. And then after you save it, you'll want to send it over to yourself so that you can put it into either a Google Docs, a Notability, or Pages so that you can finish typing up your discussion questions and turn it in the next class. Right? If you have any questions, let me or Dr. Lee know. Okay, bye.